So this is our nectarine tree. Really doing well spring-wise. Just tends not to fruit up so well, but it's quite nice. It's just in a tub. It's only a dwarf sort of sized. And as I said, the flowering, and because it's springtime, flowering's doing really well. And we lead in. Just another size of that kale, which we're going to have to deal with. As in, we can do something with it. It's pretty big leaves, towering over stuff. As in, that's the cabbages. We've got a bit of a size difference there. So some of those leaves I think will have to come off just to give the cabbages a chance. But that's good. It's very tasty. So I'm hoping we can maybe even freeze it and do it that way this year. Yeah. This is another plum tree. I'll have to look what type, but again, look at the blossom on it. They're only young trees. This one's now old enough really that it should be sort of fruiting quite well. Last year was a complete no-no, so I'm just hoping this year we might get a few. We've got some of these other fruit trees which are just, I can't get in close enough I suppose, but as you can see, look at that one. The fruit's just starting to form on some of these, so hopefully that will carry on, but these are just in pots, so I need to go and plant it out really quickly. But yeah, and let's just swing across. Oops, not going to show too well. Actually, I'll just show you this. These are cacabeak, which is a cleanthus. It's a New Zealand native. Just do that. And kaka is our native parrot. So kaka means parrot in Māori. We've got all these beautiful flowers on them. Quite stunning. These again, we've only recently bought them, so we're not sort of expecting huge amounts, although we've got quite a bit this time. Come next year, if I manage to look after them, they'll be looking awesome with the flowers. It's our rose border. Just trying to focus that in a bit. So we've got cineraria, which is interesting because some are rather small, and some turned out to be monsters, which we've gone through. So, but all very nice. And then the roses are actually looking pretty good at the moment, very healthy. And long may they stay that way. And then just for now, I've been growing some lilies in pots. So these now need to be moved and put into the sun a bit more. Catch the sun. This is my damson tree. So there's a spot on it which hasn't got flowers coming right up to the top. So we only had one fruit last year and a few flowers. This year it's covered in flowers, so really hoping. Let's get that back in focus. That's a nice shot. Really hoping it will fruit up this year. But it's going to be a fight with the birds. We've got little birds called silver eyes. And they're just thugs. Tiny little thugs that come in and raid everything, take fruit and all sorts. You gotta love them. Even on the main stem, it's been fruiting up below the main stem, and that's an amazing plant. More cineraria. So, good dark. There we go. All looking very cheerful for spring. They're making us feel very good. And this is another plum tree. Took a photo of it before and posted it, but it's coming towards its end now. The flowers are starting to drop. But it's growing in the bush. It's a whole pile of vine growing through it and all sorts. But yeah, doing really well. So that's one of my next jobs, is to actually clear it all and look after it in some way. Some good chives. We grew them over the winter. They're getting quite large now. So we'll pot them on to a proper pot and they can just sort of be there. They're in the greenhouse at the moment with another set there and a different type of chive here. So I'll get some nice pots and we can pick as and when. Begonias in the greenhouse just to start them off. This is the onions. I did replant some of them and they're getting quite large now, so made some little wire hoops just to keep them upright so they can go in. Probably a little while away. I'm going to replant the other ones. I've just replanted those centre ones today, so that's good. But I've got to get the bed ready. Been told we've got a new greenhouse on its way, so I've been told that's going to happen next week. So this has got to be emptied out because it's where the new greenhouse is going. So I've got a bit of work to do there. Probably the rest is just nothing. Started off some tomatoes there for the greenhouse. So looking quite healthy. Yeah, that's probably the greenhouse. Some poppies there that have grown. I've got 3. I had like 2 packets and 3 packets of them. I got 3 poppies. So I wasn't too impressed with that. These other onions, I might actually plant them out because they're actually quite a good. It's still a reasonable onion. I quite like the Elsa Craigs in a way for stuff. So we might do that. Just a quick view of the main border we've got in the front yard, really. So, as I said, this is the containers and raised borders. So we've got something as we come into the house. Put the kale there, giant kale, and in front of that we've got some cabbages, which I'm hoping are going to fatten up. And then to the right of those, some Brocco flower type stuff. Yeah, it does the job, but not overly keen. And then at the back we've got some nice celery, which has done us proud this year. Again, so nice and big stalks and huge amount of flavour. So great winter crop for us. I guess I'm not really in the place to show them off as well as we should, but these are the daffodils. We've just got them in the base of the lemon tree in a tub there. So they've come up quite nicely. There's a few more to come up. Nice and bright in the middle of the green of the vegetables and that. So we always look forward to them. Some Chinese cabbages, which are growing quite nicely now. I'm just hoping they don't go to seed because it's sort of some strange weather at the moment. So we're going for days without any rain, and then it sort of pours down on us, and I keep forgetting to do the regular watering because you keep thinking it's early spring. I think everywhere's still wet, but it's not. So I need to do a bit more on that one and just look after them a bit more, basically. More weeds than there should be, but this is my can't catch it properly. Calvanero kale type stuff. I've just noticed we've it's actually a favourite of mine, but there's nasty little grey things on it. Look. might need to do a bit of work on that one and get them off. We started using some minor weeds, but we started picking the kohlrabi, so it's just starting to fatten up quite nicely now. So it's really nice raw actually. We had one last night, it's beautiful. And then we've got some cauliflower there which may or may not bud up. We've started planting up our potatoes, so these have been in for a few weeks now, as you can tell, so they're pretty high. Some are a little slower than others. But I'm hoping they'll all come right. So there's a few different types. We've got the Zeta, I think it was, that we planted. Jersey Benny's are regular, and then we've got some Mari style potatoes that we've had previously. So we're just waiting for them to come up now. So yeah, looking forward to that. Some will be ready for Christmas, and then we will. There's only 2 of us, so there will be an excess. But Jill will can the damn things, I think. And then we've got them through the winter, which has been nice. And they maintain the flavours like new potatoes. Having been canned, they still taste like new potatoes like 9 months later. So it's awesome. And the last of the daffodils. We don't have many here. They don't particularly like growing here. In fact, this is probably our best bunch. Must have planted, well, over 100 bulbs around the place, but they wouldn't have it. We can do bluebells, different colours, as you can see. Oops, not the daffs. These are actually not the colour that I thought they should be, so it must be a new clump developed, because they were just the standard yellow colour at one point. So obviously that's not the case anymore. Be good to see them. Good spring flower, aren't they? Corn's in the greenhouse. Actually, it's just stopped. There's a massive downfall. When I got to the cell phone, it stopped. Sort of. Anyway, planting lettuce. Keep that in the greenhouse. That should be good. And I'll be very glad when we get our new greenhouse. As you can see, there's water dripping there onto our plants. Damn it. But won't be long now.